Also at 5:30, a win for Governor Newsom in his ongoing battle with the Trump administration. A federal judge ruled the deployment of National Guard troops in Los Angeles must end. The president deployed the troops back in June as immigration enforcement operations here ramped up.
NBC4's Conan Nolan live in our newsroom right now with more on the judge's rationale on this and what happens next. Conan.
That's right. Well, California Governor, as you mentioned, Gavin Newsom, has hailed the decision, saying he looks forward to all National Guard members being returned to state service. But there's a question as to how long this ruling will last. Now, remember, during the summer, President Donald Trump seized control of the California Guard, sending 4,000 troops to the streets of Los Angeles during the ICE protests downtown. Now, today, U.S. District Court Judge Charles Breyer ruled that the remaining 100 California National Guard troops in L.A. need to be returned to the authority of the governor. Breyer had earlier granted a temporary restraining order against the Trump administration, ruling back in July that the federalization of state troops had violated the Constitution, but he was overturned by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal. Now, this ruling is different. It's a permanent injunction. Breyer wrote that the president abused a little-known and narrow statute to take control of the Guard, and if not reined in, it would allow him unchecked power for a permanent federal police force on the streets of American cities. Jessica Levinson is with Loyola Law School.
Basic idea here is that states are separate sovereigns. The federal government cannot parachute in and federalize National Guard members against the wishes of a state. There is an exception if there is a statute that gives the federal government the power to federalize the National Guard, then they can, against the wishes of the state, do so. But you have to have the prerequisite facts for that statute to be satisfied. Judge Breyer said those prerequisite facts aren't there. Essentially, what happened in California is not bad enough to justify federalizing the National Guard. And therefore, the federal government infringes on state sovereignty, violates federalism by trying to do so anyway.
The White House says it looks forward to appealing this decision, which was stayed until Monday. In the meantime, there are other challenges to the president's using of the National Guard in other states, in Oregon, in Illinois. Some of those may end up before the United States Supreme Court. I'm Conan Nolan, NBC4 News. Back to you.
All right, Conan, thank you. And there are some new details on an alleged attack on law enforcement during those immigration raids in June. LA County Sheriff's Department released these images of 3 people accused now of throwing rocks and other objects at CHP officers. Investigators believe they threw those objects from the 101 freeway while officers were trying to control the crowds of protesters. They believe they're part of a larger group responsible for similar crimes.